What's up, internet? I'm back. It's been a minute and I've been busy not filming a single thing. Leading into East Coast cruise down in Jindabyne, I was pretty busy behind the scenes on Bodied. I'll give you a quick look at that in a moment. The purpose of this video is to basically show you what's involved in a shop shuffle as a one-man band with generally a bunch of cars that don't run. So within that shop shuffle, I'm gonna pull my wife's Mercedes off the rack. I'm gonna bring it in and we're gonna pull the driveline out and get started on a motor swap. But while you're here, I'll give you a quick look on sort of what's going on at the moment. The little D21 SR20, that's been finished for a while. The owner just hasn't had a chance to get back to pick that up. I've got a car here on the left of me that I can't show you. I probably should have put a cover on it before I started filming, but as per owner's request, I can't show that until it's unveiled at some point, but it is not a mini truck. So back into Bodied. It's a pretty well-known truck in the mini trucking industry or scene. A lot of people didn't really know that it was getting anything done to it, but we've obviously done a facelift front end and a XR6 turbo motor, ZF gearbox and XR6 turbo diff from a ute. So the whole driveline is XR6 turbo. There's a bunch of go fast bits there as well, but yeah, we're going to be pretty busy on that here in the near future. This is going to replace the Mercedes on the top shelf of the rack next door, Nate's little Hilux. That'll go into storage for a minute, which is fine. Let him build the bank account up again. I'm going to be trying to do some pretty funky little camera angles here so you can't see that car I was talking about. But yeah, so this is what we're going to be doing. 1970 Mercedes W108. It's already bagged, but it's just got the little straight six in it. My wife complains that it's too slow. We don't really drive it, so we're going to pull that down, pull the driveline out, and we're going to put an LS into that. So basically the shop shuffle will involve moving this land yacht, which will have a flat battery, I can guarantee that. Getting this off the rack, that's been there for months, that will also have a flat battery. And then, you can't see that. Nate's Hilux, which does have a motor in it, but does not run, so that'll get pushed. So yeah, bit of a shuffle. So I'm just gonna give you a rough insight on how many hours I lose shuffling cars that I don't get paid for, which is pretty common, but it is what it is. So we'll shuffle it, we'll get the Mercedes on the two posts, and we'll start pulling the driveline out, ready for the LS. So let's go.
Stay
windy and I'm on fit. But we're slowly making some progress. That's 2 cars out, 3 cars out, 1 car in. So I've got 2 cars to go. All right, that's the shuffle all done, the old switcheroo. So this here is Norma, the 1970 W108, straight 6 as mentioned earlier. I do have an LS1 here on the stand and a 4L60 gearbox there on the floor for it. I pulled that out of a running driving WH Statesman. So rough plan will be to yank this, dry fit that, and do up a set of mounts and a gearbox cross member. I'll have a tail shaft made to suit. Pull it back out and tidy the engine bay up and the firewall. I'll have to do a bulkhead and stuff like that for some aircon. While all that's going on in there, I can put a cam and some other go fast bits in the motor. And that's pretty well a rough gist of what's going on. I'm 99% sure I'm gonna have to make a set of headers for it. Fingers crossed I don't have to, but I'm 99% sure I'm gonna have to make a set of headers. And I'm also gonna have to dick around a fair bit with a steering rack. So I'm not too sure on how that's all gonna go, but we'll cross those bridges when we come to it. So that's a rough plan here for Norma. Been a long time coming. I've had that motor for ages. So let's make a start. Let's throw this thing in the air and rip it to bits.
I will live there every day. I will waste away hair comfortably, sinking into my chair. I'll fake the same smile every day. Nothing's secret when we're all sharing. Close strangers watching you. A wall is painted in what could have been. It's too late, what can you
Apologies, you guys had to watch me wrestle that motor out with the bonnet on. But this thing's got like a real weird hinge setup, and I wasn't too game to pull the bonnet off my own, so I just made do with the bonnet on. I also got a little bit of ahead of myself and I shoehorned this thing in without filming anything, so also apologies for that. And apologies for the rain that you can hear on the roof in the background. It's probably pretty annoying. But regardless, the motor is sitting roughly in place. It's sitting on the front subframe here at the moment. It's probably got to go about 50 mil lower and about 75, maybe 100 mil further back. It's literally just shoehorned in there and just sitting in place. The steering box is just a giant dildo of inconvenience. So that's gonna go. I mentioned earlier about a rack and pinion. So I've got a rack out of a Honda CR-V. It's a center steer, so that should help with bump steer. But yeah, that's sort of, it's roughly-ish in place. So from here, I'm going to take some measurements. I'm going to modify the front subframe and the sump to get it lower and further back. And from there, I can actually mount the motor. Funnily enough, the stock gearbox crossmember from the existing, like the factory Mercedes one, will work. I just got to do a little bit of modification to get the gearbox a little bit higher. But because this model car came out with like 3 different motor conversions, I think it came out with a straight 6, a 3.5 litre V8 and a 6.2 or a 6.3 litre V8 as well. And then different configurations of auto and manual. There's like a 150mm play in the cross member itself, like it's on a set of slotted holes in the chassis rail. I can give you guys a look at that later, but regardless, the stock cross member will pretty much work as it is with the stock 4L60 gearbox mount. There's actually a set of holes already there and it just fits straight in. It's weird. But yeah, regardless, so that's it there. So I can take some measurements, yank it, do all that stuff, but I'll probably save that for another video. So I'm gonna wrap this up here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So yeah, thanks for checking it out.